Hi there, my name is FixFox, and welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 3. This is going to be the fourth scenario in the Birth of the Barbarian campaign, where we are following around Yogg the Barbarian, who is, of course, half genie and half barbarian. To this point, we have gotten away from our wizard friends who originally were teaching us all the ways of magic. We have since forsaken magic. We've gone into Crewlod, where we held Duke Winston Baragas at the very point of a sword, and he said, no, I was testing you to see if you were willing to join my army or whether or not you were still too much wizard. And we said, ha, we are more barbarian than wizard. He said, prove it. And so to this point, we've gotten rid of 2 out of the 6 artifacts required to make the Angelic Alliance. The first 2 pieces we dropped off into Talia, where the Fortress faction resides, kind of in more the swampy area. And then I do know here in scenario 4, Falor and Terwin, that we are instead going into Erathia, where we will have to deal with probably Queen Griffin Heart's forces. We will have to wait and see. But let's read this and dive right in. Yogg must deliver the Celestial Necklace of Bliss and the Lion Shield of Courage to Falor and Terwin to win this scenario. However, if Yogg is defeated in combat or loses either artifact, the scenario is lost. Yogg is limited to level 21, but will carry his experience and skills on to the next scenario. This is going to be a small map, first and foremost, and that's very interesting. Medium-sized maps versus small maps, there's a lot of different strategies that you have to implement there. Usually resources are generally a little bit harder to come by, and more importantly, it's going to be such close quarters that being able to time your first attack is going to be the most critical thing you can do to win a scenario. We're going to have to be very, very cognizant of the enemy and when our best time to attack is. We are going to be the blue player. We have one teal enemy that we must deal with. We are of course, going to be on impossible difficulty. We always are. And so we now have one final choice before we jump right in. Badge of Courage, 3 ogres or 8 orc chieftains. Which one do we prefer? I think I'd prefer the orc chiefs. Let's just kind of see what we dive or what we get. This time it's going to be a 2. That's going to give us the Badge of Courage. And so the Badge of Courage for the +1 morale is going to be our start here. And with that being said, folks, let's let Yogg take it away.
I gave up the first piece of the sword, although I had to resist all of my wizardly training to do so. Now I am to find the hut of a seer named Falor and give him 2 more pieces, the Celestial Necklace of Bliss and the Lion's Shield of Courage. This will be no simple errand, for the Erathians don't take kindly to large armies traipsing across their country.
Okay, so Erathians, and that's going to be the castle faction, is what we're going to be up against today. Before leaving to Talia, you sent a messenger off to deliver the Pendant of Courage to Winston Baragas, so that he would know that you have successfully completed the first part of your quest. After dismissing the messenger, you marched off to Erathia to complete the second part. You now have been in Erathia for several days, but you have been unable to locate Falor and Terwin. The best clue you have to their whereabouts is a hazy recollection from a peasant that they live somewhere underground, which I find pretty funny because, real quick, let's go back to this. Does this look like they're underground? I see blue sky in the background. I think that looks like blue sky in the background. I'm guessing that they're not actually underground, or they are underground and there was a mix-up when the developers were putting this game together. We have some excellent stats here. Note that we have, look, +6 here to all of our stats, +5, +3, +4. So we've got a whole bunch going on here, and yet that only equals up to about 20 attack, 20 defense. Yogg is very, very well leveled. If we put all these artifacts on another hero, they're not instantly going to be as good as Yogg. Yogg has got some pretty excellent things going on for him, being that he is level 18. Remember, we can get up to level 21. Looks like we start off with Morgenheim. Nothing to our name, no resources, but there are these rocks, and so for that reason, let's pop back in the town and pull these troops out. I see these cards of prophecy. I see no reason why we ought not to pick them up. You meet a traveler who offers to let you draw a card from a strange deck that he carries. When you refuse, he draws one himself. He has a momentary look of surprise on his face, then vanishes with a pop, dropping the cards on the floor. You gather them and leave. That's going to be +1 to our luck. So we have +1 luck, +1 morale because of our artifacts. And this is interesting. I think that there's probably somebody out there who's very creative that can flesh out these stories a little bit more. There's a lot of unanswered questions with this bit of dialogue here. Number 1, who is this strange traveler? Number 2, what card did he see and what surprised him? And then number 3, where did he go to when he vanished with a pop? Pretty interesting. If you are a writer or some kind of storyboard maker, I would be interested to see your take on some of these interesting artifacts. I see immediately an ore pit. We must pick that up. And I would love to get some secondary hero here. To make that happen, I think it's going to be important that we see this treasure over here, maybe this crypt now, and we're going to pick up resources where we can. Nagabank, we're probably way too underleveled to deal with that. And I do also see the green tent and the red tent. Well, a green barrier with a red tent behind it. I think that we're going to be having to figure out how we deal with that in short order. Maybe this is going to be another scenario, much like in the previous one, where you must do a little bit of everything. You must be able to go forth, adventure, and then break through the enemy's forces in order to get those barriers and to make the way clear to you. If I had to guess, that's what I think that we are going to be up against. These rocks are going to be the ones that take the majority of the damage here. Unfortunately, I've already lost one more wolf than I did with the AI. We're going to back them off, and I'm pretty sure that these rocks can deal with these Walking Dead without any issue. We're just going to keep everybody else safe. Defend, defend, and then one more time. I think that should do it. So 2 goblins, 1 wolf rider. Do I like that? Do I like the other losses better? I think I'd rather lose 2 of the goblins, but we get 2,500 gold here on day 1. That's fantastic. The Hourglass of Evil hour is going to be terrible for us because it negates luck, and that is, of course, bad for us since we already have this +1 here anyway. Might as well make sure that we have the maximum amount of luck. But again, my prize, the thing that I really care about here is getting another hero. It's going to be Sarog. Erathian Crusaders can strike 2 blows in the time a normal swordsman could strike only once. But Sarog has some good troops with them, first and foremost. And second of all, they've got the +1 to your gems on a daily basis. I personally love all of the different resource generating heroes you can get. That just feels so nice to me because it's essentially having an absolutely free mine in your back pocket. And having Sarog here on day 1 means I can go exploring a little bit more into the future. Interesting, Dwarven Treasury and a Nagabank. So there's some opportunities if we get a big enough army to defeat both of these creatures. That's going to be anywhere between, what, 8,000 to 20,000 gold. There's potentially a lot of gold here. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. An ore pit and our sawmill, not to mention this cliff nest for the rocks is going to be very, very nice. We are going to have to defeat the guardians in order to get some rocks, but I think that that's going to be pretty darn worth it. I do see it down this road here to the south, though. It looks like that's going to take us to a town for the castle faction, which is going to be kind of interesting. Do I need to go out of my way into this direction to get that? I don't think so. I think that Sarog is not going to be able to do much over here. It looks like there's guardians and things like that. And with this one goblin, maybe we just use Sarog to pick up some resources, and then they can head back into this area for me. So let's head immediately south towards this. It looks like it's going to be griffins and archers. I think that we can defeat that. Fountain of Youth. You drink from the fountain's waters and feel young again. Sensing your renewed vigor, your army's morale improves, allowing you to cover additional ground as you head for your next battle. Wonderful. I think that we're going to have plenty of opportunities to pick up experience. We are level 18. We can max out at level 21, as we've already mentioned. I think that we're going to allow that. Lots of Royal Griffins. With this army, I think that you can probably win, but at great losses, and I'm guessing that we can't get by. Oh, we can get by these griffins if we want to. You know, maybe we come back in a second. If we see that maybe there's free orcs, maybe we pick up free orcs. Maybe we pick up free orcs and then we can come back. That seems like a good idea to me. Oh, there's a gold mine being guarded by, looks like some crusaders. That's definitely going to be worth it for us. So I think that we're going to clear in this direction. Pop over there. I see one more. It looks like that's either a town. Is that another town? That might be another town right here. Things are getting spicy here to the south. We're going to have to figure out what we do in short order. Might be worth it to bring up another hero, depending on the gold situation. It's not looking pretty. It's not looking good, but it's possible anyway. I don't really love these additional troops that we could get on these troops here that we could buy, these heroes. So we're going to ignore that for now. Looks like we're going to have Tyris as the Teal hero, their primary hero. We have 2 heroes, they have 2 heroes. They've got more towns than I have. And that's interesting. We have 1, they could have 3, 4, 5, 6, we don't know. On a small map, I'm hoping that they don't have more than 3. I'm hoping that at worst we have 2 towns and castles versus whatever that they might have. That's my hope. We will see. So, orcs are free, and having a little bit of range damage does go an awful long way. I see no reason not to pick up this treasure since we are right here. And can we pick up this rally flag right now? We actually can't pick up the rally flag. And there's marksmen guarding this wolf pen. It's not a town, it's a wolf pen. I think we can actually defeat these crusaders with what we have here. It's going to be messy at best, but because we have tactics, I think that we can take this fight. I think we ought to. 1,000 gold extra a day is too good to turn down. Way too good to turn down. And I think we can do much better than this. So long as we don't lose the rock, I'm going to be just fine with whatever else might happen here. So let's put our single stacks of creatures out onto the front line. This terrain is actually really nice because my hope is that 1, 2, 3 crusaders come down the battlefield, and after they do that, then in this case it looks like all but 1 are going to go north. Then this front line will die, and then our troops will get to overwhelm from the rear, from the backwards position to the front, fighting backwards to front. That seems to be a pretty good strategy. Let's just let that happen. So we're going to wait. 1 goes down. I didn't really anticipate that. Oh, that's fine for me, though. They did do me a solid favor, and they killed all of the goblins before they killed wolf riders or anything like that. And this is actually nice. This one crusader went south. If I had known, I probably wouldn't have used those orcs to shoot this stack here. So not too bad. That +1 morale is already coming in very, very nicely. It seems to me best to clear out 1 whole stack of creatures. 26 goblins should be able to kill all those crusaders. They do. We're just going to help out here and then here. I think that the rocks should finish off right here. No problem. No problem. And then what? We just wait, let the crusaders come right into us. How did we lose? Oh, we did lose 3. That was because we had 3 single stacks. I thought somehow that other stack of crusaders was going to get 1 more hit off on me, and I almost lost it for just a second. That's okay. 3 goblins for 1,000 extra gold per day is so good. And because there's actually a second dwelling here, I think that we're going to come back to this town in one moment. I think we're going to pick up these wolves now. Wolf raiders now. That's going to help us get down the battlefield, split the rocks, and then split the wolves. And then I think that we should just overwhelm these marksmen. Let's just do 3 stacks of the wolf riders. And then I don't know, we'll see what's over here. Maybe there's something to clear out over here. It looks like maybe a secondary hero can actually get over here pretty quickly. Sometimes the AI doesn't do as good of a job with these fights as I would like for them to do. We're going to see if we can do any better given what we have. Let's see, 6 speed. We're going to be just short of this big stack here. And so for that reason, let's go here. Let's go here. And actually, all of these wolf riders are going to be here to the bottom. So that way, if we get any instance of good morale, we're going to be doing just fine. Oh no, I messed this up. Oh, never mind, I didn't. I thought for a second that the rock was actually in the wrong position. Whew. Glad that wasn't a mistake. Looks like it is going to be at least 1 wolf going down. Can't be helped. And at this point, 1 wolf is going to be what it is. So, down to this new wolf pin, and hopefully we can get the rally flag in short order. We'll pick up these 9 wolves. Is it important to clear out all this? Again, I think that Sarog, we got to see what they're going to do up here, but they're not going to defeat any of these creatures. Do I need to pick up the sulfur? What do I need sulfur for? What do I need sulfur for? And I just realized now, I noted that this crystal mine was going to be very, very useful because you have Cyclops and you have Behemoths. It looks like we don't even have the need for that 30 crystal. You do need crystal for Crusaders, for the Knight faction, so crystal could still be useful, but why there's swordsmen guarding all this crystal, I don't really know. And why we need sulfur, again, I don't really know. We are not going to be investing in any types of mage guild levels. It's just not useful for us because our primary hero being Yogg just can't really make good use of them. So we're going to ignore that for now. And we're going to let Sarog try and get down to the south because the gold and stuff can still be useful. And then that way Yogg doesn't have to spend the time. So, journal entry 16. Fortifying my position wasn't difficult, for the mountains make an effective barrier. However, my scouts brought back information that suggests that the rest of my quest will not be as easy. For me to gain access to Falor and Terwin's underground lair, I must visit a Keymaster's tent located deep in the enemy territory. I assume that that's what this green border guard is for. There's going to be a green tent somewhere over here. Am I going to have to sail there via boat? That makes the most sense to me. I think that that's what we should plan on. It's day 4. We're taking gold instead of experience. We're picking up goblins where we can. I'd really like to get this cliff nest before too much is said and done. We can get there in 2 days from right here. And it's day 4. I think that we have time to pick up these griffins and the gem pond. And then Sorog can actually clear out everything else and just save my movement points on my primary hero. You rally your troops around this flag, renewing their strength and lifting their spirits. You feel at your peak and can travel a bit further today. Wonderful. And so fighting these griffins, I think the one wolf rider is actually pretty okay. 850 experience, gem pond, and we will grab the rally flag on our way out because the movement points make it a net loss of 0. Might as well pick up cliff nest. I think that Sorog actually is getting to the point where they could defeat this cliff nest by themselves, but is it really necessary? Probably not. 38 wood. We don't need this wood. I don't think that we need these gems at this time. And I don't think we really need the gold. Let's just get this town. Maybe this town's going to give us some more information about what we ought to do. Maybe we need to get into the boat sooner rather than later. Maybe I've already missed my chance. I just didn't feel like I should have fought before I had these additional troops here. I was just going to go by, and then now that I have 7 additional orcs and 8 additional wolves, I feel much better about this fight. Probably should have had my single stacks. I'm not sure why I actually combined my forces there. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I have no idea why I did that. Okay, well, these things do happen. The griffins are so fast. 9 speed versus 7 speed. Yeah, we're just gonna take our hits, and there's nothing we can do about it. And because they have unlimited retaliations, maybe the single stacks are actually not gonna be as good. I say maybe, but something tells me that it's still gonna be a little bit of a hurt type of situation. We're going to take some losses. Let's try and avoid losing one single rock. How about that? Good morale's already bad. 1 goblin goes down. We're probably down into the 30 range. Yeah, 31 hit points left on these rocks. I think that because we have 60-some damage here on these 3 royal griffins, I'm just going to suck it up and take the retaliation from these griffins here. So 25 hit points left. Let's try and kill 5 here, because I think we can. These wolf riders are really, really tough. And then 69 to 140 damage. Let's kill 1 whole stack here. And these guys have yet to go. So let's damage these griffins instead of these other ones. Don't lose 1 rock. Don't do it. 4 hit points left. We can kill 4, right? You can do it. Yeah, we can do it. And I think we can kill a whole stack here and a whole stack here. This is not pretty, but 8 goblins feels okay, and the margins were close. So I do think that the single stacks would have been much better for me. Why I didn't do that, I was moving so fast, and that was a mistake, clearly. Okay, I think that there's no reason why we ought not to take this town, though. A little bit of an interesting kind of choice here. On the one hand, you want to go out and get these archers because that's a lot of archers that can do damage to you. On the other hand, there's a part of you that would like to stay back and avoid damaging or getting damage from these griffins first. I think that we need to just overwhelm our enemies while we can. They're going to be 7 speed. I just don't want these archers to get full damage off on me. Unfortunately, because of the terrain, that's not happening. So let's do damage where we can and just hope for some good morale somewhere. Yeah, these griffins are not doing any damage to these rocks. Our rocks are getting absolutely tickled. That's going to end up being, what, 3 goblins? 3 goblins do perish there. That'll probably be the only losses we have in this fight, and that seems okay for me. We're going to put damage down on these archers while we can. Yeah, 4 griffins don't even damage 1 goblin. Ouch. Imagine feeling that useless. There's 3 of us and 1 of you, and somehow, we come off the better. Oh, that was... We didn't need to lose that goblin. We really didn't. 1100 experience though. And really, so we've cleared out all of our general area. There's resources. There's a couple things that Sarog can do for us. There's things up here to the north, not to mention these 2 Naga banks. Sarog can get into the water though. Right now, Sarog can get into the water. I think we ought to consider that. And one other thing I think that we ought to consider is this. We have your 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th level creatures available here in this town. If you can clear the barrier of building the fort, which is going to be 20 wood, 20 ore. If. And that feels like a pretty big if. Because I don't see any more ore available to us. We kind of spent all of our resources on getting troops here in Morganheim. But over here, we only have access to up to our 5th level creatures. Clearly, the 6th level creatures would be better. It's too late now, and we're going to have to wait a long, long time before we can get the fort. I think that we're going to try our very, very best to get this town operational, but I'm not planning on it. I'm just not planning on it. This is interesting, though. I was just checking to see 2 new things that popped up. Number 1, the wood and the ore. This has changed. We now have equal numbers of towns, and that changes my strategy a lot. Because if it's 2 towns against 2 towns, or even one castle and 1 town against 2 castles, that I can deal with. I can handle that. What I can't handle if it's 3 or 4 castles against 1 castle and 1 town. So Yogg definitely is the superior fighting force. We'll see what secondary skills Tyris has, but I'm guessing that we are going to obliterate her unless they start off with some pretty nasty creatures. And they just might. For some reason, I got a feeling that that is possible. I think it's not a bad idea for us to pick up this Fountain of Youth on our way here, and I think that it's not a bad idea for us to get into this boat. Yeah, we're just going to get into the boat. Yogg's going to do Yogg things and take these goblins, because I don't know if it's going to be useful to have multiple creatures out here on the high seas. We'll do it like this, and the whole reason in my mind is simply so that we can potentially avoid any losses. If the enemy just gets the jump on us, sometimes you'll find, like this, you'll find the Shipwreck Survivor, and if there's a nice artifact in the water and you want to get that back to your main hero, that second creature might be enough to prevent you from just losing that artifact before you have a chance to run. So that's my thought process there. By the way, this town and these stables are good for those cavalries into champions. I don't think we're going to be fighting these champions anytime soon. I don't think that we need the movement points from the stables. I think that we're fine at the moment. We'll probably fight them later, knowing that we are probably trying to get to level 19. Probably trying to get to level 19. So that then we can jump on this Tree of Knowledge and get a +1 level after we get up to level 19. And then we just have to get enough experience to get up to level 21. And that way we don't miss out on experience. So we'll come back. These champions are experience. We will get them later. I hope this Sarog doesn't get attacked immediately. Let's build 1 building over here. That gold mine really helps out a lot. Since it's a small map, and since we only have 1 castle that we're operating off of versus their 2, let's get the troops more than we get the gold. In just a second, we're going to start getting the city hall. I don't know if we're going to work on getting upgrades or if we're just going to work on getting the city hall. Tough. We will see. We will see. But we will see starting tomorrow. Okay, so Sarog does get to stick around. Let's pick up whatever we can find. That's going to be 1,500 gold in that chest. It's going to be a little bit of flotsam. And I think I'm just going to head up straight for this Shipwreck Survivor. I do see some nice things on the beach over here. It looks like that Shipwreck Survivor is going to be pretty close, but that's going to be a day tomorrow for us. We need to deal with him. These monks are not that interesting to me. They are experience. Why? Because I've got the Lion Shield of Courage. That's going to be a +4 to everything. That's going to be far superior to this Dwarven Shield anyway. So I don't really want to get that at this time. It's just not my priority. We'll pick them up later, again, for experience, but right now, just not that big of a deal. These rocks, I think we can do even better than that. It's going to really come down to who can get the first hit on the enemy. If they hit me first, we're going to take bigger losses. If we hit them first, so on and so forth. You get it. You get it. You get it. Let's do it just like this, actually. Yeah, just like this. And then you're either going to have to hope that you can do 60 damage to these rocks, or I'm going to end up losing just one goblin and then nothing. So defend here, defend all across the board. And I am going to defend one more time so I don't lose any wolf riders. Plus 3 defense, that actually should go a long way for me. Because they attacked the one goblin, I'm not worried. I'm really not worried about losing 60 hit points here. Yeah, it's about 30 hit points here. And then when 18 wolf riders attacks you, plus 25 goblins twice with good luck. Easy peasy. One goblin, much better. Much better. Okay. I don't think I have anywhere to be at the moment. It's day 6. We still have 2 more days. Oh, look at this. Look at this. We see just the edge of a castle right here. And that might be bad for us because that means that maybe this has a shipyard and maybe there's an enemy that'll pop into the water. Maybe Sarog is in danger and we don't even know it. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. I think it makes sense to me. Wow, a horde of royal griffins. I think we're going to ignore them for now. But I think we could take out swordsman, resupply, and then get the treasuries and the Naga banks day 1 tomorrow. That's my plan. And we talked about, well, should we get the city hall or should we do something else? I think that the citadel is going to be the very best thing we can do. The chances of us getting this castle are so low. We need 9 ore. I don't think that that's happening. I don't see any chance of us getting 9 ore. And I definitely don't think that we're going to be getting the fort. Oh, interesting. So Caitlin, maybe they just were very, very shy on resources. Maybe they were close, but not 100%. Maybe that's why she didn't attack Sarog. I don't know why she didn't. We're going to run in the opposite direction, pick up some wood, and we see another castle. So here, we've got castle here. We've got some resources here. I think that we ought to just land. These resources are going to make Sarog's time worth it. The precious resources, not so much. But if I can get 2 marketplaces, then I can actually trade for some resources pretty soon. Castle is out of the question. Mess hall, Hall of Valhalla. Both of these would be good. Probably going to be... We could probably get the hobgoblins on turn 1. And so for that reason, let's get the mess hall now since it's day 7. And Yogg will go back for that in short order. That's what we're going to do. Ooh, spicy. 6 wolves and 6 goblins. Huh. I really think that with some, again, tactical positioning that we can avoid major losses here. But with these multiple stacks of 7, it's less likely. 5 rocks, though, we are much more equipped, better equipped, superiorly put together. Our logistics are good. Our quartermaster has made sure that we are now superior, equal in skill and training and means to this enemy, whereas earlier we were not. So fighting this fight earlier would have been terrible. Now it's not a bad decision. I don't know about this, though. I don't want to lose the damage from the rocks, but I also don't want to take 2 swipes from these crusaders. If I defend, I will lose my turn, but I will increase my defense. I've already got pretty good defense. I just don't want to fly out here and then open myself up to multiple attacks. Because even if I attack right here, I will take damage from these swordsmen right here. I think it's not a bad idea just to wait. And once again, when the enemy is going to do you a huge favor and just kill single stacks of goblins, you should be grateful for it. I can take 15 damage from these swordsmen, and that actually helps me get a good understanding of about where my offensive and defensive capabilities are. That shouldn't be too big of a problem. 18 wolf riders, I think, can definitely kill the wolf or kill the crusaders. Most of them, 6 of them anyway. And then I'm just going to have the 5 rocks kill biggest stack here. Ouch. 7 orcs are still fine. Never mind. And we'll kill 1 here. 1 more goblin goes down. Waste of damage, but it will give us the opportunity to let our other creatures thrive and flourish and do what they do best. 5 goblins are left. So I will spend the time because we're right here and who knows when we're going to come back. I will pick up the crystal. That might be useful just to give me some opportunities to trade in the future. We will give ourselves that opportunity soon. Once again, because I lost those goblins and I didn't break off single stacks again, I am at a disadvantage. I keep putting myself in these disadvantages, and we've already seen how very useful that can be. But there's nothing for it. Thankfully, this terrain actually is going to work out pretty well for us. Yeah, Crusaders are going to take 2 turns to get down the battlefield this time, and that feels much better. Plus, we're doing full damage here. We're going to attack because these Crusaders can attack these goblins if they want to. I think that they're actually going to attack the Wolf Riders, I think. Nope, goblins. They say, hey, we can kill lots of goblins now. A goblin in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, as it were. Adapting that idiom from the phrase, of course. 1 bird in the hand being worth 2 in the bush. They'd rather kill the creatures that they can kill rather than getting a little bit of damage onto these wolves that maybe it'll work out in their favor and maybe it won't. 5 goblins, not great, not terrible. We will pick up the learning stone because, again, we're trying to get that additional level before we go and pick up this tree. We'll see how this works out. There are now 2 boats in the water. That's interesting. So, Dark Storm. Pretty interesting to see him. I don't want him to be able to just sail right by me and to attack me. I guess that even if we can't get in the boat anyway. It's possible that he will land and try and get us. We hop in the boat and then we scuttle a boat. Not my favorite thing to do, but it'll work if that's what it takes. By the way, one major thing that I have not mentioned but has been on my mind is this. The enemy has a pretty interesting thing that they can do to us. As I pick up the cliff nest, the advanced cliff nest, there is this monolith one-way exit. Anytime you see a one-way exit, you've got to assume that the enemy has a logistical advantage over you that is going to just suck. You're just going to hate it. If the enemy has a big army, they can get you, but you can't get them. That's never going to feel good. And we're going to have to be very, very careful about how we move forward. We're going to have to move forward very, very cautiously. We've got lots of gold. I think that we're going to wait on purchasing troops because Yogg only has 140 movement points left. We're going to see how this pans out. But I am going to pick up the marketplace now. It looks like wood is not going to be a problem. And then we have at least 1 marketplace ready, just in case something crazy happens. Oh, and we do have an enemy landing. It is Tyris. This is still their primary hero, maybe? Question mark. Towns with a citadel attract more troops than a town with a fort. Corellion the Barbarian's available. Yeah, it's still Tyris. And I think that we can probably, from here, on road, we can almost reach her. I bet we can reach her with the Fountain of Youth. It looks like we are short on resources. We can pick up the +1 to our attack now, or we can trade a little bit of resources and get our goblins into hobgoblins. I think that the hobgoblins are going to be better. I just need to remember to come back for this Hall of Valhalla later, once we do build it, because I do want Yogg to not miss out on those +1s to attack. Whenever possible, it will be useful for us. So I don't think the crystal is going to be pretty important, but we do have a gem mine already. We know that we have a gem mine. So let's trade for gems like that. And that, just as far as crystal goes. Back up to here. And get this upgraded mess hall. Okay. And so we've upgraded hobgoblins. We've already upgraded our Thunderbirds. And let's purchase out this castle. That's 5,600 gold to the Thunderbirds. I think we're going to wait on the ogres. We may purchase them, but let's get the good offensive troops now, including the troops that are already upgraded. And then I think I like ogres. They're slow, but they do their job very, very well. With their 40 hit points, they can take a beating. I think that even 4 is going to be useful, and then the rest of my gold can go into these Wolf Riders. That feels like a pretty good split to me. And then we have just, some flexibility in the way that we fight our fights moving forward. Okay. I do want to get the Naga Bank and the Dwarven Treasury. We will in short order. That's not a problem. I think I'd much rather pick up what we can and defeat our enemy before they can really sniff us. Several of the monks, a horde of pikemen, not halberdiers, but pikemen, a horde of archers, not marksmen, they've missed out on some massive upgrades here. And so now is actually a good time to take this fight while we can. Lots of swordsmen instead of crusaders and lots of the griffins instead of the royal griffins. This should be a fight that we can win. And we are beefed up with our +2 morale and our +1 luck. There's no better time to fight this fight. Let's make this happen. Looks like we're going to take some losses, but the enemy is going to try and run. So we will have to try and see if we can keep them from running. They do have a ballista. I wonder if Tyris has the artillery. If she does, that's going to be kind of important because that's going to give her one other opportunity to run at any given moment. Nifty. Very interesting. You only have 10 out of your 70 spell points. You have 5 power, 7 knowledge, but you've only got 10 spell points. That's pretty good for me, especially because I have none. I have no spells whatsoever. 8, 75, 52, 20, and 33. Actually, these are some pretty nifty numbers. And worth noting, it looks like Tyris has expert tactics. So we have expert tactics, she has expert tactics, and therefore it's a wash. Nobody gets any tactics. There is no tactics phase. We are going to, unfortunately, have to take a hit from these archers because I don't think it's worth it to hope for good luck to get down the battlefield, to get into these archers. I don't think anyway. We could move to like right here, still stay out of range of their ranged troops from doing full damage. And then if we get good morale, then we probably would attack these pikemen. We can give it a shot. Let's just see if we can get lucky and get some good morale. Nope, no chance. And then everybody else, I don't mind if we just move forward because these guys aren't going to move far enough into my line of sight to do damage to me. And they're not going to let me do damage to them, so... one hobgoblin. I wonder if the ranged troops are actually going to waste their time attacking the troops that are closest to them. They might. That might be an absolute bait where 8 monks or 52 archers waste some damage. Nope, looks like no. Still have 35 hit points on this top stack, and thankfully our 25 orcs are going to get the first shot on these archers. We're going to bring their stack size down to 38. Not bad. And then the ogres, as we've already talked about, we're just kind of going to the north of this terrain here. These archers are doing a pretty good job of keeping things cordoned off. I guess not really, because the griffins fly and the swordsmen are able to get by. I thought that this was completely a sunk position for them. We are down to 10 Thunderbirds. There is 1 lightning bolt. There's no spells left to be accounted for in this fight. That feels pretty darn good to me. New round of combat. I would rather do damage more than anything. Let's work on these swordsmen. 6 to 9 damage, 20 attack. That's going to be the best thing for me. And with the positioning, I can make sure that the archers aren't going to get full damage off. 54 of the hobgoblins are going to do a lot of damage to these pikemen. Pikemen are an interesting unit. 18 defense, 48 attack. I'm going to do so much bonus damage. I'm going to kill 15 to 30 of these pikemen and probably lose 8 hobgoblins on retaliation. 5 hobgoblins. Okay. 1 single hobgoblin is going to make sure that these monks don't get their turn. Another single stack of hobgoblins goes up. And I actually think I want to stick on these pikemen. 18, 14. I'm looking at the attack skill. 18 on the griffins, 14 on the pikemen. There's going to be 2 retaliations on these griffins, one way or the other. It's not going to be bad to take the damage there, but if you attack the pikemen now, they're not going to get their offensive turn this turn, and that will save you some damage. So we're going to save damage by attacking the pikemen, and then we don't have the retaliation that's a little bit extra for us. Ranged troops should be attacking these griffins. If we're going to be doing reduced damage to everybody, might as well kill the troop that wants to retaliate and just not let them. Goblin goes down, more goblins goes down. Let's see, this is the final round of combat here, so let's wait on this hobgoblin so we don't have to use up their mobility. I want this hobgoblin to actually go down and sit right here on top of these archers to prevent them from getting their turn in just 1 second. Let's have our Thunderbirds unload on the griffins. 14 go down. Stupendous. Let's actually continue with these pikemen here. I'm starting to think about trying to prevent the enemy from running. We are to the point where the enemy has enough troops that they might want to stick around, and we should try and let them as much as possible. We should try and let them stick around as much as possible. And so for that reason, I think I'm even going to wait with these wolves. I'm going to wait. I'll take the damage from monks. I'll take the damage from archers. We're just going to wait. Wait. Ballistic goes. Darn. Okay. But you could see how I was thinking. And because they must have that artillery, that does make it so that they have one additional opportunity to run. And that hurts my feelings a little bit because I could have gotten more experience off of these enemies. But we've routed what appears to be their primary fighting force. We're doing just fine. So we will take that. I'm just fine with everything that just happened there. And we are on the way to get some more of these goodies here. I don't know about Darkstorn. I want to make him commit to landing. I really do. If he's going to come and get me, I want him to land, because every single day that I wait is just more gems that I get. So we're going to wait and make him make a decision. He lands in the other direction. That gives me an opening to actually get into the boat so I can get out. And it looks like Yogg didn't pick up all this last time, but we will sure do it now. Picking up rally flags just for the additional movement and the wolf raiders. And just in case Sarog doesn't get back here, we're going to start working on increasing our ability to resupply and hit these moments. Aha, Sarog. Now here's a question for you. We don't want to lose a hero, right? I agree, you agree, we all agree. We don't want to lose a hero here. But I think there's a possibility where it's more than just going to be a question of, do we spend 2,500 gold worth of hero to explore? And more of a question of, well, that's 2,500 gold plus the flexibility of a hero and plus a boat, just in case we get caught. If we land now, we have 2 boats, and if there is, as I suppose, a monolith one-way entrance over here somewhere, that might prevent us from having to buy a second boat in the future. I'm guessing that we're going to have to sail and land with Yogg. And so for that reason, we're going to land now with Sarog. Going to pick up all this as treasure. And I'm actually going to step on the Tree of Knowledge just to see. Looks like it's going to be 10 gems. We're going to say no for now, but we're going to pick that up later. For that experience, once we get up to our additional level. Looks like we are on the cusp. We are 100 experience away. That's probably going to be these monks. And we'll fight the champions after. Darkstorm sails, but with only 1 monk. I assume it's 1 monk. I don't think that we need to worry about him at all. Sarog is going to go south to pick up gems. And I think that Sarog will pick up the goblins in this barracks soon anyway. So, the monks want to run. Do we wish to pursue them? Yes, we do. Whoa, that's way more hobgoblins than is acceptable to me. I should have split my Thunderbirds. So, that's a mistake. Okay. We've only got 15 hobgoblins here anyway, huh? Go to here and here. And let's do the very, very best we can. Yeah, I should have split these Thunderbirds, because we're not going to take any damage necessarily, but thankfully doing half damage there is still going to help. We attack here, dip out here, and the battle is won. We're just sad with the way it turned out. Darn. But, as you can see, we saved 3 goblins. Hey! 2 goblins, whatever it was. And we did pick up our +1 to our levels, up to level 19. I think that the pathfinding is going to be better for us. Sarog can pick up that artifact after he picks up these goblins. And I'm looking to get my troops upgraded. And then I think on day 1, I want Yogg to be in the boat, and I want Sarog to resupply from this castle of Morgenheim, probably going by road to right here where Yogg is sitting in the harbor. And so then I can land on day 1, and then on day 2 I can take one of these castles. I think that that's going to be the very best thing I can do. That's going to give them some additional 1 additional week's worth of troops, but I think that having already broken the enemy's spirit, having taken off their main troops right now, I think that we're already in an ideal position. I think that we're fine. So let's do a resupply as we get some more upgraded troops. Let's do a resupply. Cliff Nest? I think that we need rocks still. We didn't pick up rocks this week. Let's pick up rocks and then get the Dwarven Treasury. day 6. This isn't going to work as well as I'd hoped. I just told you this elaborate plan and how I thought it would go. It's likely, given the way that my brain is working right now, that this is actually not going to work out quite in that way. I think that these losses are acceptable for 100 dwarves. Maybe we do better. Maybe we don't. I don't think it's worth 3 minutes of my life. 5,000 gold, 5 crystal. Day 6, day 6, day 6. We are still only at 3 ore, so picking up, 15 more ore right now to get the fort, not likely, not happening. Mage Guild level 1, and then the Ogre Fort. That's possible. That's possible. Tell you what. What is my fastest creature? Speed 11? Let's unload all of the very slow creatures, and I think that we can set off on day 7 and just get into one of these boats tomorrow, especially if we still have this Fountain of Youth. Yeah, we're going to do that. That's going to be just as good for us. We will probably even have the time to stop in at this Naga Bank. And so Sarog will head up in this direction to kind of help here. That means that we're not going to get cliff nests or orcs and stuff like that. We're still going to be on our way in short order. And then we will see about this guy, Caitlin. I don't think Caitlin can deal with us. They can try, but I don't think that they're going to do much against us. So Sarg's going to get just a little bit out of the way. We are unable to get the Ogre Magi. 5 wood, 5 ore. We need a little bit of ore. Let's go back to our our trading post over here. Wait, what do we need? 5 mercury? No, just 5 ore. That's all we need, just 5 ore. Huh. Who would have thought? Okay. And I don't really mind trading these precious resources. And in fact, I really might. A wise man once said, don't share your wisdom with anybody. I might just trade all of my precious resources at this time. This might be the time for me to just let things go. Yeah, this might be the time to just sell out and know that now is the end of the road for the enemy, and we're not going to give them a chance to breathe after this. This is going to be it for them. I think that we actually can purchase all these troops today. We can. We have about 2,000 gold left over. So we don't have an amazing fighting force. I really regret losing all those hobgoblins, but 32 is still a pretty reasonable amount. And for this reason, and for the reasons I've just mentioned then, do you really need to defeat some Naga? And the answer, I think, is actually no. Really, I don't think that defeating the Naga is going to be worth my time. Because I would defeat them if I needed gold. I don't need gold. I don't have anything else really to purchase here except for a castle. I wish I'd have the castle, that's for sure. But the gold mine over here, and then the plus gold from this town over here has been great for me. I don't think I need anything else. I think that we just hop right back into the boat, and maybe Sarog can pick up rocks or something else for us. And maybe we can resupply in just 1 second. Drop here, and we have a choice between this castle and this castle. I don't know which is better. We will wait and see if we get any additional insight on that. Let's go here. Pick up some rocks. Just because we are going to want to pick up these rocks, we could land today, or we could land up here in 2 days after we pick up 3 additional rocks. Let's just land. Let's land here. Go from here. So, there's an empty castle. I don't think it's going to stay empty, but it is empty for now. And then that means Sarog has time to go and pick up some troops for me. Wonderful, wonderful. Never did pick up the Sulfur Dune. I don't think it's going to factor into our plans that much. Waiting on the castle. Let's get the marketplace now since we got a moment. Oh, and there we have it. Tyris. Here's the thing, though. This castle is fully built or fully paid off. Yeah, it hurts to lose some of these upgrades, but I think that having 2 other castles that look to be fully upgraded is going to be much better than having 1 castle and then 1 town. I will gladly swap. I will gladly swap with no sadness whatsoever. Plus morale, plus luck. Let's do the very, very best we can in these fights. 14-1. A lot of these orcs are going to be lost just because of the battlements, and I don't think that we can really stop that. I think that with these troops that we are seeing here now, it's going to make a lot of sense to get these Thunderbirds into the action. If I had thought about it, I would have split the Thunderbirds into 2 stacks. 16 Ogre Magi. That's actually a lot of Ogre Magi. 60 hit points each. Wow. Wow. Ogres are such a good unit. In every single iteration of Heroes of Might and Magic, Ogres are such a good unit, and I love them so very much. Ah, very interesting to see. So one mechanic that I often forget about, but is very, very apparent, is that if there's an equal or higher priority target to the very, very bottom, they will get the first bit of attention from the enemy. In this instance, it was the Hobgoblins who got that attention, as you can see. Let's get the Royal Griffins now, and then the Wolf Raiders should be able to get into these other enemies. But the big stack of Griffins is obviously the choice. Hoping for good morale at least one more time here. Nope. And it's going to be a lot of Hobgoblins going down, I think. No sense in using the Ogre Lord's Bloodlust ability. It's just not going to be that good for us. I want to kill one whole stack. Whatever I do, I want to kill one whole stack. 148 damage. That's going to be enough to kill these swordsmen. We're going to do that. And there goes all the Hobgoblins. Let's hope that the catapult can get super lucky and kill one whole turret. It can't. It doesn't matter. We're going to kill here. And here. And we're going to trade 32 Hobgoblins for 1,800 experience and one whole castle, which is very, very nice for us. And this is interesting. So this castle does not have the training grounds, but you can get the Portal of Glory here. I don't think that we ever want to let go of this castle. I don't think that we ever want to let go of this castle. I think that we're going to invest in this castle. We're going to plan on keeping it. We're going to pick up the stables right now, so that way we can step in with Yogg here on day 3 and get the movement boost from there. I think we're going to move in here, and we're going to probably get Tarek, the battle mage, to send some troops up, and then he's going to head out and explore up this road as far as he can. There is our light blue tent. There's another tree of knowledge, so we don't actually have to worry about experience anymore. We've already met our goal. Naga Bank, stables, Griffin Conservatory. I want this Griffin Conservatory. If it's not been taken by the enemy, do they have angels? They don't have angels. I think that there's a possibility that the enemy has not picked up that Griffin Conservatory, and if we can get 1, 2, or more angels, I'm going to be feeling so good. We're out of movement points with Tarek. His job as a scout is done. If he survives one more day, that's excellent, but I'm not expecting it. If it happens, great. We'll see. And then, can we reach? We can reach here now, plus the rally flag. We will ignore sawmills, crystal mines, and things of that nature. Maybe Tarek is going to actually head back, because I think that we're headed on a collision course for this castle here, and nothing can stop us. Nothing will slow us down. Yes, excellent. So there's no angels on the map for them, as far as I'm aware. Maybe this other castle does have them, but the angels that we can pick up here are going to be worth every second of our life. So do I want to attack the guards? Absolutely I do. Is there a better split here? Is there a better positioning? Range troops over here. Probably want goblins there. That looks to be about... That looks to be the best for us. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, and this is actually great for us. Oh no, there's a lot of losses here. Yeah, there's a lot of losses here. But that means that there's going to be more angels that we can get. So we could accept these losses. It's not going to be a problem for me, though, to take these now. One thing that I wish F Heroes 2 did that Heroes 3 Horn of the Abyss does is that when you mouse over your turn order, it'll actually tell you which creature is which. So, like, for example, I'm like, well, which Griffin's going to go first? Of course, this is Royal Griffins, but when I mouse over it, they get highlighted blue. And that is a great change. I love that very, very much. I'm all for it. I'd like to keep my orcs free and clear. And I don't think I'm going to waste a lot of damage by killing one whole stack of Griffins. So we're going to do that. Because these Griffins cannot reach my orcs. And I think that 63 Wolf Raiders will absolutely dismantle a whole stack of Griffins. 3 Wolf Raiders goes down, 3 more goes down, and then these Ogre Magi are going to just obliterate anything in their path. 43 Orcs. I think that they're going to kill one whole stack here. Oh, they did not, actually. I really thought that they'd kill one whole stack. Close, but no cigar. And then from here, really the battle is won. I'm just going to hit Q for quick combat. So 6 and 5, very acceptable losses. And our prize is 3 angels. Whew. That feels okay. If the enemy had gotten 3 angels, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal. 200 hit points apiece. That's 600 hit points extra we would have to deal with. It would be a 12-speed creature. That would be 150 damage every time, not to, you know, I mean, pre-damage mitigation and pluses and minuses. But that might mean that there's actually a lot of variance on this map from playthrough to playthrough. And what do I mean by variance? Well, for example, this Shipwreck Survivor that was right here, sometimes it could be a really great artifact, sometimes it's a really bad artifact, who knows? These Trees of Knowledge, sometimes they are absolutely free, and sometimes they cost you 10 gems. Maybe you don't have 10 gems, and maybe that changes the way that the map plays out in a major way. Or in this case, maybe the enemy doesn't have the ability to take on this many griffins, and so then I take the angels. If there was one angel in here with just that many griffins guarding it, maybe the enemy would have done this fight differently. Maybe things could have been much different. We'll see. Darkstorm, I don't think Tarek has any offensive spells. Yeah, he doesn't. And Darkstorm is just a nobody. He's a nobody. But he's a nobody with 9 archers now, so I feel obligated to defeat him. He does not run. We pick up a Speculum and a Badge of Courage. So we have 2 badges of courage, but you only get the +1 from one. You don't get a duplicative type of bonus. You get +1 for any amount of Cards of Prophecy, +1 for any amount of Badge of Courage. That's kind of what that means. But the Speculum is kind of nice. I'm wondering if it was the Badge of Courage. I'm guessing it was the Badge of Courage that was on this Shipwreck Survivor. That makes the most sense to me because we started off with a Badge of Courage as our bonus. Caitlyn's in the water. We're going to let her stay in the water. Here is our monolith one-way entrance. I think that we're going to go back there just as soon as we take this castle. Yeah, I'm going to accept these losses. The enemy can't hold a candle to us. And then you can't get a Portal of Glory here, but they do have a capital. So now without having spent the time or the resources, we get our own capital. That's excellent. That's tremendous. We're probably going to look to get here on day 4. Whatever it takes to get these angels, we're going to get angels by the end of this week. So first thing to make that happen, do we have a marketplace in each of these 4 castles? We do. That's going to be the major barrier to that. We can't get to Caitlyn right now. I do see a gold mine. We're going to take one step out of the way here so that another hero can be purchased and go to the north, east. Any troops? We already checked that. There's none. And we're just going to see... Looks like there's no other enemy heroes on our side. There are these training grounds. I think we're going to do this. We're going to give Halon everything and everybody. Because again, I don't think that there's any other enemies here. I don't think that we're going to lose Yogg. This is scary to leave your win condition with no troops. Unless there's an enemy hero that I just don't see, we should be fine. And then I can head on my way while we get the training grounds and get the troops back tomorrow. That's my hope. That's my plan. Worth noting that Tyris now, I think, is going to turn around and take this castle, this town. And the whole reason being is because if you don't have any towns or castles, I think that you're going to want to do that before anything else. So for that reason, let's actually trade resources now. We're just going to need the precious resources. I think I'm going to have plenty of gold. 10, 10, 10, and 10. We're going to need 10 mercury, and we're going to need 4 more sulfur. 4 more sulfur. Let's actually have Sarog go and get that sulfur now. I don't want to trade for that, if I can help it. But then that means we're going to still need 10 mercury somehow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jeez. Do we need crystal? We need crystal. You could trade 2 units of, or 2 blocks of crystal. Up to 6. We need 4 more. I don't know. Do you need wood? Do you need wood to build a castle in the sky? Looks like not. And so because you don't actually need wood, we're going to trade now. Here And we're just gonna suck it up. Yeah, we're just gonna do it like this, and we're gonna hope that we can get enough resources to make this work out in a second. And again, the whole reason I'm doing this is because I think I'm gonna trade at a worse clip in just 1 second when I go down from 4 of these marketplaces down to 3. And there you have it, there's 3. I don't think that there's anything over here that's really gonna save Tyris. I think that we're coming for her in just 1 second. These forces, they can't stop us, I can almost guarantee it. Yeah, no problems. I will recruit the Cavaliers after I dismiss this one imp. Oh, and I can only afford 1? Hold on. There we go. And then Yogg was naked, and now he has all of his troops back, which feels a-okay. Whew. Feels nice. Feels nice. I'm even going to get rid of these 14 goblins, because I think that splitting the angels is going to be the best thing for me. So we're going to do that. Pick up the rally flag, and we're going to go right on through here. I am not worried about Caitlyn. I will pick up another hero who can deal with whatever silliness she has going on. And with our +1 from our rally flag, with our +1, with everything else we've got, we are very quickly closing in on Tyris. So Sarg's picking up +5 sulfur, +6. Who would have thought that that would actually be useful? But it did turn out to be pretty useful. Still need gold. Day 5. Let's just see. Oh, I forgot to purchase another hero. Whoops. And there were creatures in there. There were creatures in there. I've instantly made this much harder for myself than it had to be. Oops. Enemies fled. I don't think that this is going to really matter. Shield goes down. 1 orc goes down. Remember, Tyris has the expert tactics, so I don't get to out-tactics her. These orcs just took a beating. They took a lot of heavy fire. And I feel bad for it, but that is what it is. One of those interesting things, by the way, is it just pikemen, or is it pikemen and halberdiers that take reduced damage from cavaliers? I don't remember, but that's one of those interesting things that's not listed, but a very special interaction between forces here in Heroes Might and Magic 3. We're going to clean up these pikemen. We're going to do so much damage to these Royal Griffins. Yeah, 3 left. And then we're just going to obliterate here. And here. And here. I don't think we can keep the enemy from running. We're going to do our very, very best, but I don't think we can make this happen. Because we'd have to kill a lot of creatures in short order. This ammo cart's actually very, very useful for these enemies here. 7, 3, 8, 2. How about we attack here? Maybe we kill the ammo cart. We do. Oh, because we're a 2-hex creature, we can't get in anyway. And that's that. So 6 orcs goes down. And then I hope that this enemy here doesn't actually pick up and land again. Like over here, but he might. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Look, all I know is I'm glad that I didn't buy angels just to lose them on day 1. We need to actually be in range of these enemies here. I'd love to keep Zyron there. He's going to take the troops one more time from Yogg, and he's going to defeat this castle on day 7 with the express purpose of defeating the enemies so I can get angels. This is not pretty. I've cost myself some additional time. I could have already had the enemy beaten, but it is what it is. Okay. And here's how we're going to do it, because Yogg is in the boat. Yogg is going to land. Land? Yeah, might as well land. And then we will hand off troops. Oh, what? I made a mistake again. We were operating off of not a 5-speed creature, but off of a 7-speed creature's movement points. Darn, I messed this up. Okay, well, I think we're just going to go back to this castle here and hold up as best as we can. It's a castle, and so there's going to be some good defenses here. This is officially very, very messy, but with these spells, and most importantly with our Inferno, we might be able to hold out against Orin if he decides to stick around for one more day. We've picked up these rocks. Just in case Orin goes through the monolith one way, I want to overwhelm him in just 1 second. Let's see how this plays out. We're going to fight this. We're going to accept this. Yeah, we're going to apply these battle results. No problem. And we're going to defeat the enemy right here, right now. And the only problem is that then we don't get angels. 1 additional week's worth of angels. Ogre's Club of Havoc, +5 to your attack skill. Mystical Orb of Mana, plus with the Cherry Wood, not bad. And we get level 20. Teal's been vanquished. Tree of Knowledge here for +1. And then I think that we just have to kind of wheel this fight in from here. I maybe didn't even need to defeat our enemies, but we have. And so we're just going to let that sink in. We're going to sleep on these other 2 heroes. I don't need to spend time to mess around with them. The guards say they have orders to only let Yogg pass, and we shall begin the end. So green, no, light blue. Wait. Oh, interesting. So light blue's here. Huh. Okay. Well, that was unexpected. Maybe there's more to this map than meets the eye. Sometimes I think that I have it won, and then there's still a little bit more to go. Maybe that's the case here. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Let me trade. Let me get the angels now, just in case there is more that we have to deal with. I would hate to put myself in a rough position. Sometimes there is just more to do, and you don't realize it until it's too late. And then you wish you'd had the troops, and you just didn't have them. So, with that being said, though, this has been a really fun scenario, really fun playthrough, really short and quick. I don't think I've really needed to wax eloquently here. It's been nice to just throw what we have up against the wall and see what sticks. But I do think that this is one of those maps that if you're saying to yourself, hey, how should I play this map? And you look at this playthrough and you think, okay, here's the strategy, here's what I'm going to do. And then you feel absolutely robbed, thieved, had the wool pulled over your eyes, bamboozled, hoodwinked, hijacked, because the enemy doesn't play like they did here, like they don't come out of this monolith one-way exit, or they don't land, and we don't take out most of their troops in week 1. I think that you have a very, very reasonable concern, first of all, but note that is because this map has a lot of variance. As we've already mentioned, we've already talked about the variance in this map, how there's some bits that just are gonna, the ball's gonna bounce one way or the other. Aha! Several in a pack of archangels? How much army do I have here? I've got 4 angels. It's a lot of hit points. Can I win? Yes, I can win, and so I shall. But I'm expecting some losses here. Good thing we got angels on the way, because we'll see how tough we are against these several angels. It might be that the pack is too much for us. We'll find out. Journal entry 17. It has been a while since my last journal entry, but I have been very busy. The Erathian army attacked me sooner than I thought. It looks as if my luck is taking a turn for the better, though. I have found a cave in the middle of the lake, and it was a good thing, too, because Falor and Terwin are both down here somewhere. Ignoring ore, just not going to be useful for me. There's that Mercury I wish I had just a moment ago. I don't love this fight. I really don't love this fight. I do not love this fight. We're going to do it, but if I lose right here... No, okay. There's several. That's at most 9. That's going to be 2,700 hit points that we have to chew through, and we've got angels, and more importantly, we got 46 attack and 40 defense. We're going to be fine. I'm expecting something like that, yeah. And it's only 7 angels instead of more, so we're really fine. But there's been many a time where we've seen that it's important that Fixfox not get overconfident, because catastrophe can strike at any moment if you're just not careful. For speed, 8 speed, 7 speed. I want the Wolf Raiders to not get hit, but I also want them to attack when they can. let's just take our losses. 57 damage there, 47 damage there. Yeah. Angels are doing 15 damage to my angels, not a problem. That looks like one Thunderbird that did just go down there. 250 hit points. Oh, and it's 250 hit points instead of 300. For some reason, I just thought that Archangels have a little bit more than that. I'll lose the one Thunderbird. The caretaker of this tent seems happy to see you. Finally, somebody worthy, he says. I will send word immediately to the border guard that will allow you to pass. I think that actually we are right here. We will rein up, pick up the red Keymaster's tent now, and close this scenario out very, very quickly. I think that it's likely that there's probably just one more border guard in this way. So we'll finish up with these angels now. This might be the final fight even. I'll accept these losses and we'll carry on. And this is going to be it. So folks, this scenario was fun for the reasons we talked about. And again, I think that this is going to be a little bit of a high variance type of scenario. Just my own little plug on the side. This is coming to the close for the end of June. Remember, June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And so every single time that you hear me say at the end of my videos, look after you, look after your friends, look after your family. If you don't, who will? I mean that. And I really do mean that. And that's not just because of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's because it really, really matters. It really, really matters. This month is actually a little bit of a rough month for me because I lost a friend due to self-harm. It's been years ago, but this is the month that this happened. And it's one of those things where you as a bystander, you as a person who loves this person, you as someone who wants them to be okay, can't help after they're gone say, what else should I have done? What more could I have done? Was there something I could say or something I shouldn't have done? And I think that we as men, and I say we as men, not to be non-inclusive to all the women that might be watching this video, but for the men here, it's easy for us to say, I'm fine. Hey man, how you doing? I'm good. I'm fine. It's all right. And we're not okay. We're not fine. And this month for mental health awareness, I hope that we're taking the time to practice building those relationships so that when bad things happen and when we're struggling and when we need help, that we can reach out and we can help each other out as men. In whatever ways you get support, in whatever ways you need support, I hope you take the time just to reach out to those people around you and just do a little bit of an extra double check just to see, hey, how are you holding up? And sometimes maybe the question is not how are you doing? The way maybe that's best is to say, hey, how's your heart doing? And that may sound a little bit weird, and it may be like a little bit invasive, and yet people generally have responded very well to me in the past when I have used that phrase, how is your heart doing? Because that doesn't allow you to simply say, it's good, or I'm good. It at least invites a deeper conversation. So really, look after the people that you care about. Hello, I am Falor, and this is Terwin. Duke Winston Baragas informed us that you might be coming here. You are to give us the Lion's Shield of Courage and the Celestial Necklace of Bliss, I believe. Yes, I am. Well, don't just stand there. Give us the shield and the necklace and be on your way. Oh, wait, take this and give it to the Dukes so that he will know you have visited us and done what you were supposed to do. As you reach the door, Falor comes up and apologizes for Terwin's rude behavior. Please excuse Terwin. He gets into moods sometimes. Good luck on the rest of your quest. With that, Falor shakes your hand. You are now on your way in search of Beleg and Oruk to complete your quest. I'm so confused because So Terwin was rude to us, and then Falor came up to apologize and said, excuse Terwin. And then Falor shakes our hand. So wait, just like the logistics of this makes no sense. So we give them this. He says, well, give it to us. And then we walk towards the door, I assume in a huff. And then Falor says, I'm sorry, but we're already away from Terwin. And then we shake Falor's hand. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't have to. I don't care. Congratulations, you have found the pendant of courage and can claim victory. So with that being said, folks, grateful for all the time that you have spent here with me today. Grateful for everything that you've got going on, and thanks for all of the support. I sincerely appreciate everything that people have been doing. I am debating on when I'm going to be able to get down to streaming next, but that is something I've really thoroughly enjoyed. One of the things that made me so very happy is that people, when I said a phrase, I could actually feel it in my face and in my heart. I had said, I hope that you can hear how happy I am to do this in my voice, and you can see it on my face. And when I watched the video back, I could see it in my face. I could hear it in my voice. And I hope that you guys are feeling that sincerity and honesty from myself too, because I really, truly do enjoy getting to play Heroes of Might and Magic and spending time with all of you. So I appreciate every single comment. I appreciate every single person that spends any single minute watching these videos. And I appreciate all of you. So with that being said, we're going to be on to the next scenario next time. We will see where it goes from here. Until that time, look after you. Look after your friends. Look after your family. And really, look after yourself. If you don't, who will? My name is Fix Fox, and I will catch you in the next one. Take very good care.